Hi guys, it's Jaden. Welcome back to my channel. On today's video, I'm going to be talking about the details of my experience during the phase 2 of my health crash recovery. Check out my video on the 5 different phases. I broke my health crash recovery kind of down to 5 different phases. And I'm making 5 different videos on the details of each phase that I experienced. So I also have a video before this one, that's the phase 1, and so today's phase 2. But before we get into it, couple things. First of all, my disclaimer: I'm not a medical doctor or a therapist. I'm not here to prescribe or treat you of any disease. Please check in with your medical professional before you take on any health advice. And I also wanted to kind of answer a few questions that I get a lot of messages on and emails about, which is the ups and downs of recovering. So this is a very gradual process, guys. It's not going to be like, I hope in some cases it could be really fast and dramatic recovery for you, but for me and most of the people that's going through this, it's not going to be like you feel better and then you just continue to keep feeling better and better and better. There's going to be a lot of like feeling better, feeling worse, like 1 step forward, 2 step back, 3 step forward, 1 step back, like that kind of thing. So don't, and that's fine. If you're going through it, you're gonna feel anxious and you're gonna feel frustrated and stuff. But I just want to keep reminding you guys, I guess I shouldn't say don't, because that would just put more stress on you if you feel like you just can't. You'll feel more stressed if you feel like you can't stress. So anyways, I just want to remind you guys that it does take a long time and consistency. Months, years, and if you're trying to do this naturally and recover things from the root. So don't get discouraged, and don't try not to get discouraged, and try not to get frustrated and like fall off track too long. And it's inevitable that you're gonna feel frustrated and kind of fall off track, but try not to do it because it just delays your process. Okay. So yeah, things like if you feel better and then suddenly out of nowhere you're feeling good and then you get a symptom or a crash, it's totally normal for all this stuff, because it's just going to take time for your body, your hormones, and your subconscious to balance out. And a lot of the symptoms has to do with the anxiety. It's very, you can't quite explain why you're getting those symptoms, because your subconscious still isn't really like caught up to everything feeling more relaxed and secure. So even though mentally you've made a decision to recover and you're being really diligent and consistent, your subconscious, your hormone levels, and everything's got to catch up. So you got to give yourself time. Don't think that it's just like a linear up and up recovery process. It's going to go up and down. Okay, so with that said, let's get into my experience when I was in phase 2. So after phase 1, where it was the bedridden and just complete exhaustion, just bad first phase, I gradually, with rest, eating well and giving it time, I progressed into phase 2, which was I was more able to be out of bed, doing like very minimal stuff still. This is still a phase where you're very fragile and you're not in no means high energy or even have really energy. It's just that you're not like half dead and laying in bed, bedridden. So during this time, it was probably, phase 2 was very frustrating for me because it was new still to me, and I was trying to figure out all these different things to take and different routines that would help myself. But there was a lot of trial and error, so some things would work and then I would try something that didn't, and then I would fall back. And so then there was like digressing back to phase 1, and I have to like rest a week and get out of it. So phase 2 took a while to get through. I would say it was like phase 1, it would be maybe 2-3 months. Phase 2 was more like another 4 months on top of that. So lots of trial and errors. I did make some progress, obviously, but there was a lot of fallbacks. So be ready for that when you're trying to recover. Once you get out of that initial, you're totally destroyed, bedridden phase, you're going to have to face a lot of trial and error and learn about your patterns, learn about your recovery, habits and patterns to push yourself more towards a recovery direction. So a lot of you are asking, like, I am feeling like I can work out after a while. Like I don't feel as fatigued. So a few things you want to do with that. Like, yes, if you feel like up to it, try something, but just start small. Smaller than what you think small is. Okay, so some people think like, okay, you know what? I'm feeling better. I'm just going to go walk for 30 minutes. That's nothing if you've never had a health crash. But if you have, walking 30 minutes, as gentle as it may sound, you might just have a crash. So start, it's never, you can always do more tomorrow. If you just start with like 5 minutes of just very mild stretching and you don't have a crash, you're fine. Do more, do 7 minutes tomorrow. Like, you can always add more. But if you start with too much, or if you add too much, you're gonna crash, and then that's just gonna send you back to bed for like a week or two, and yeah, you won't make progress that way. In phase 2, I also learned a lot about why I got into this position. So, because you have to downregulate your activities and to heal, you have a lot more time to think about, what's happening with me, and, why, or at least I did, why all this is happening, what did I do? And that's when I really realized that I just overpushed myself in so many ways. And, our modern day of chronic stress isn't that easy to begin with. And I was adding so much on top of, like, so much gas on top of flames. And yeah, I have a very strong constitution, but even so, after years of chronic stress and just overworking, overtraining, over everything, I crashed. So that a lot of that mental realization and kind of slight depression will happen around like this time, because you've moved away from feeling that initial shock of horribleness, and then now you still feel horrible, but you're a little bit better. So then you start to have more time to kind of obsess and think about why. So it's good to realize these things, but really watch yourself not to get obsessed with, like, obsessing over the symptoms, obsessing over, fearful thoughts and stuff like that. So really be present and be aware. So that could really help in phase 2. Once you get a hang of things, like in phase 3, you will be stronger and more equipped to deal with like the feelings that come up, or the frustration, or the symptoms that come up. You know how to manage it better. I did. So take this phase as a phase to kind of, do your research, trial and error, continue to rest, focus on the rest and recovery, do a little bit of something, and just move forward really gradually. And that will set you up really well to move into phase 3, which is you are kind of starting to get over the hump. I'll make a separate video on phase 3, of course. This is 2 of 5 today. And it's kind of like the phase where there's no momentum moving forward yet. Phase 3 and 4 is the more and more exciting phases, where I will talk about like how I felt my first like major recovery and stuff like that. So phase 2 today. I hope you enjoyed my video. Please consider subscribing if you haven't done so. It really helps me grow my channel, as well as liking my videos, commenting, and sharing my videos with others who you think might benefit from the information I'm putting out. Again, I'm talking to a few people about doing online interviews again. I did one already with Dave, and I'm planning to do another. It is kind of hard to coordinate, so give me some time to put another interview video together. I know the first one did really well. It answered a lot of questions for people. And keep emailing me and asking me questions regarding this. If you like, I'm always up for any kind of help I can give, and any kind of reassurance that I can provide from having gone through this myself. And I hope you will have a great week, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, thanks guys, bye.